Have you ever woken up and felt like life's just passing you by? Like you're stuck in quicksand watching everyone else zoom ahead? I'm James Carter, and for years that was me. I had a decent job, a few friends, and a routine, but something felt off. I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't thriving either. What was holding me back? That's the question I'm diving into today. Because the choices we make, even the small ones, can trap us in a life we never meant to live. Stick with me, because my story might just spark something in yours. Let's start with the first choice that kept me stuck, chasing dreams that weren't mine. When I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. Why? My parents thought it was stable. My teachers said I'd be successful. So I grinded through college, racking up debt, aiming for a career I didn't even like. By 25, I was interning at a law firm, miserable, surrounded by people who seemed to love it. Then it hit me. This wasn't my dream, it was theirs. Society loves to nudge us toward paths that sound good on paper, but deep down, I craved something else. I just didn't know what. How many of us are chasing goals we don't even want? That realization was my first wake-up call, but it wasn't the only trap I fell into. Next up was something messier, staying in toxic circles. I had this friend group from high school, let's call them Rachel and Mark. We were inseparable, but as we got older, things changed. Rachel was always dragging me into her drama, and Mark had this knack for making me feel like my ideas were dumb. One night I loaned Mark some cash for a sure-thing business idea. Spoiler, I never saw that money again. Worse, he acted like I was the bad guy for asking about it. I stuck around anyway, thinking loyalty meant saying no was a bad habit. But those relationships were like anchors, holding me back from people who actually inspired me. Cutting them loose felt like betraying my past, but it freed my future. Who's in your circle, weighing you down? But that wasn't the whole story. Then there was my biggest fear, starting over. By 28, I knew law wasn't for me, but quitting. That felt like jumping into the deep end without knowing how to swim. What if I failed? What if I ended up broke? I stayed in that job for 3 more years, dragging my feet because the unknown was terrifying. Did you know that 80% of people say they didn't take enough risks in their lives? I was on track to be one of them. The crazy part. When I finally switched to marketing, a field I'd always been curious about, it wasn't perfect, but it was felt right. Starting over wasn't a step back, it was a leap forward. What's one thing you're scared to try? That fear kept me stuck for years, but there was another sneaky habit holding me back. Perfectionism. Oh man, this one got me good thinking it was right. A couple years ago, I had an idea for a side hustle, an online store selling custom planners. I spent months tweaking the logo, researching suppliers, planning every detail. Guess what? I never launched. Why? It wasn't perfect. I told myself I'd do it when the website was flawless or when I had more time. Newsflash, perfection doesn't exist. That stalled dream taught me that done is better than perfect. I finally started a small Etsy shop last year. Not perfect, but it's growing. What's one project you're waiting to be just right? But perfectionism wasn't my only escape. Here's where it gets raw. I was numbing out with distractions. After tough days, I'd scroll social media for hours or binge entire seasons of whatever was trending. It felt like a harmless way to unwind, but it was a black hole. I'd avoid thinking about my dead-end job or big dreams because it was easier to like someone else's posts or watch someone else's story. Here's something wild. Those apps are built to keep us hooked. Designers use tricks to make you in longer, stealing time you could use to grow. When I cut my phone time in half, I started writing again, something I'd loved as a kid. What's one habit you use to numb out? Breaking that cycle was huge, but another subtle choice was quietly derailing me. Small habits, they don't seem like much, but they add up. For years, I'd skip workouts because I was too tired. I'd grab takeout instead of cooking to save time. I'd buy coffee every morning telling myself it was just $4. But those choices snowballed. I felt sluggish, my bank account suffered, and my confidence took a hit. Then there's the flip side, wellness fads promising instant fixes. I tried some trendy diets and apps, but they were mostly hype. The real change came when I started small, walking daily, cutting one coffee run a week. Tiny shifts, big impact. What's one small habit you're ignoring? But that wasn't the last trap I fell into. Waiting for the right time was another mistake. I used to think I'd chase my dreams when I had more money, more skills, less or stress. I'd say, I'll start that blog when I'm ready, or I'll move to a new city when things settle down. But life doesn't pause, it keeps moving. I delayed moving to Chicago for years, waiting for a dream job to fall into my lap. Spoiler, it didn't. When I finally took a good enough job and moved, opportunities opened up in ways I never imagined. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's a myth we tell ourselves to stay safe. What are you waiting for right now? That lesson hit me hard, but it tied everything together. So here's where I'm at. Those choices, chasing the wrong dreams, toxic friends, toxic work, fear, perfectionism, distractions, bad habits, waiting, kept me stuck for years. Breaking free didn't happen overnight. I'm still learning, still messing up sometimes up. But here's the twist. I didn't need a massive overhaul. Small steps like saying no to drama, to starting small, cutting distraction, changed everything. My life's not perfect, but it's mine now. I'm growing, taking risks, learning and taking risks. Here's my challenge. Pick one choice, big or small, that's holding you back. What's it? Think about it, change it, start today. Because if I can shift my story, so can you too.